Mournful Forts, North Sea, England. Designed to protect England by a potential Nazi invasion during of the Second World War. They were exploited by army and military fleet, and were called, in honor of their designer, Guy Maunsell. The fortresses were removed from function at the end of the 1950 years, and later were used for other activities, including for radio pirate transmissions. Gate to Hell, Dervezeo, Turkmenistan. Gate to Hell, Turkmenistan, is the only field in the world what burns for 40 years, because of the elimination of natural gas. When, in 1971, Soviet scientists they started to search for oil, accidentally got a reserve of methane gas, creating this gigantic crater by crumbling, which they lit up. To eliminate further problems with the huge gas emanations. Hashima Island, Japan. This island is found to about 15 kilometers from Nagasaki. Hashima was used as an extraction center of coal between 1887 and 1974, and touched a maximum population of 5,259 people in 1959. After what, in the 1960s, oil replaced coal in Japan, Hashima was abandoned, and now it is known as the Ghost Island. A small portion of the island has been reopened for tourists in 2009, and many ships stop here for excursions. Manchac Swamp, Louisiana, USA. The Manchac Swamp, located in the U.S. state of Louisiana, near New Orleans, is also known like Ghost Swamp. The region is convinced that this sinister marsh was cursed by a high-ranking adherent woman of the voodoo cult in the 1920s, when the locals had imprisoned her under the accusation of sorcery. 3 small villages near the swamp were breached off after face of the earth after a hurricane, on short time after the woman's alleged curse. Currently, the place is isolated, has a sinister look, and produces a strange charge for those who visit it. Easter Island, Chile. Easter Island is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Although it is in the Pacific Ocean, at 4,200 kilometers away from the South American state of Chile, is considered territory of it. The island is best known for Moai, the huge statues carved in stone, with a mysterious look, who looks pointing symbolically toward heaven, ocean, or towards certain targets on the island. No one knows exactly who are the authors, what was their fate, and why they carved these massive statues. No inhabitants of the island not know the art of processing them, and no one can explain the way in which it was possible to create these 20-meter and 90-tons giants with a 20-kilometer distance rocks, which is unrealizable today. Varosha, Cyprus. Varosha is a completely uninhabited resort town on the coast of Cyprus. It is a ghost town, and a neighborhood, of the Cypriot city of Famagusta. Before the Turkish invasion of Cyprus, from 1974, it was a modern tourist area of Famagusta city, quickly evacuated after this invasion. In the 1970s, Famagusta was the #1 tourist destination from Cyprus. To deal with the growing number of tourists, were built many new buildings, and high-rise hotels. From a distance, the city seems lively, but from his nearby, show that he is completely desolate, and cast into silence. Socotra Island, Yemen. Socotra is an island, and a small archipelago with 4 islands, in Indian Ocean. The island is very isolated, and a third of its flora is not found nowhere else on the planet. It was described as the place with the most extraterrestrial look from the Earth. The island measures 132 kilometers in length, and 49.7 kilometers in width. Socotra has an incredible biodiversity, plants and trees, like nowhere in the world, including its specific trees. Pripyat, Ukraine. Pripyat is a left town from northern Ukraine, in the Kiev region, near the border with Belarus. The city was abandoned in 1986 because of the calamity from nuclear power plant at Chernobyl, which is located at 14.5 kilometers northwest of the city. On April 26, 1986, at 1:23 a.m., the 4th reactor of the power plant exploded, and all the inhabitants of the city and surroundings have been evacuated, because the level of radiation in that area becomes extremely dangerous. Even though the city is mostly uninhabited, a few people, about 2,000, still live there. Truk Lagoon, Micronesia. Much of the former Japanese aviation fleet is currently in the depths of the Truk Lagoon, Micronesia, in the Pacific Ocean, in southeast of the Hawaii archipelago. The bottom of this lagoon, which Jacques-Yves Cousteau explored it in 1971, is covered almost entirely with wrecks of submerged warships in 1944, at the end of the Second World War. The lagoon has become a great attraction for divers, though many have fear of the possible evil influence of crew spirits, who never left their fighting posts. Coral reefs have grown around destroyers and aircraft, and many diving do not return to the surface from their adventures of underwater exploration. Bermuda Triangle, Atlantic Ocean. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as Devil's Triangle, is a place with a frightening fame, which includes approximately 805,000 square kilometers of the Atlantic Ocean. The region is known for its mysterious wrecks, conspiracy theories, sailors and pilots gone missing. According to the U.S. Navy, the triangle does not exist, and the name is not recognized as a geographical name. Nazca Lines, Peru. The Nazca Lines are a series of ancient geoglyphs, located in the Nazca Desert, in southern Peru. They were included in UNESCO World Heritage in 1994. Scientists believe the Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture, between 500 before Christ and 500 after Christ. Hundreds of individual figures vary in complexity, from simple lines to stylized forms of animals, for example, hummingbirds, spiders, monkeys, fish, sharks, etc. Drawings are shallow lines made in the soil, by removal of reddish stones. The lines are quite mysterious, and they have created several theories of conspiracy. They are visible only from the air, and each shape has been drawn in a single continuous line. Hoiabaciu Forest, Romania. The forest is known as Bermuda Triangle from Romania. The Hoia Forest is located to the west of the Cluj-Napoca city, and is probably the most mysterious place from Romania. The place attracts many willing to see ghosts and other paranormal phenomena. Several people have disappeared into it, and many even have seen UFOs.